listening to the Beer Craft Home Brewing Podcast. Tune in every Wednesday night at 6:30 Pacific for a dose of beer and brewing banter with your hosts, Ben Holm and Andrew Ziegler.
So hop aboard for a little wit and wisdom in the Pacific Northwest, because it's always Beer 30 on The Beer Craft.
You know, every time people talk about botanicals in beer, they make it sound like something new. Brewers have been tossing plants into beer long before hops took over the spotlight. Flowers, roots, leaves, bark, seeds. If it grew near the brew house, somebody tried it. Sometimes on purpose, sometimes because it fell in. The fun part is that brewers are coming back to these ingredients with fresh eyes. Instead of sticking to citrus peel and coriander, let's take it from the top of the second paragraph. Go. The fun part is brewers are coming back to these ingredients with fresh eyes. Instead of sticking to citrus peel and coriander, people are reaching for herbs, teas, and plants that once lived strictly in the apothecary world. That brings me to one of my favorite experiences. Before we get into botanicals, that's the word. Before we get into botanicals, I want to share one of my favorite experiments. Years ago, my wife asked if I could brew something for her herbology class. I thought, great, this is my chance to blend her world with mine.
An herbal brew.
Yeah, she suggested kava root.
Yeah.
I said yes before I even Googled what the hell that looked like. It arrived looking like something someone scooped out of the waste bin in my wood shop. So I packed it in muslin, tucked it into a fine mesh hop screen, and I felt pretty clever. I thought the double containment might keep the beer bright. It did not.
It's kava.
Yeah. It's kava. The batch rolled out with a soft, cloudy glow like a pale ale trying on a new outfit. I didn't have time to clear it up, so I just said, fuck it. Trust the process.
All right.
Class loved it. I loved it. They loved it. I waited for that famous kava calm everyone talks about. The first pint, nothing. Second pint, still nothing. Third pint, I started wondering if this had been decaf kava. By the fourth pint, I finally felt a little relaxed. Hard to say if it was the root or the beer, but by then I didn't care.
So you brewed a chill-out beer that needed a warm-up period?
Yeah, like a slow burn relaxation ale.
Okay. This is the most fitting into the botanicals episode I can think of, right?
Right. So today we dive into botanicals that play well with beer and give you fun results without needing 4 pints to get there.
But before we do that, you know what time it is.
It's Beer
30. That was a little different.
A little variety. We've got a special guest here in the house. We've got Josh Verhalen. He is my right hand at Northwest Brewer Supply. He is also a sound nerd, so we brought him in here to tinker with all the buttons and make the sound.
Make your voice sound better.
Make me sound better. Josh, how the hell are you?
You know, I can't complain.
Well,
a couple of gorgeous beers here in front of me. Can't wait to get into them.
Yeah, we were supposed to drink these weeks ago, and it's just been life getting in the way. But why don't we crack into the first one? We need some bottle openers, don't we?
It's usually on tap.
Yeah.
I have no idea where it is.
It's over there. Where are my keys?
Dude, we're desperate. Here it is.
You win.
All right, what do we have here? You have brought a Stone Vertical Epic Ale. This is 2008.
2008.
Has an 08 on it. 08, 08, 08, 08, 08, 08.
Yeah.
Okay. And the second beer looks like a homebrew.
This is from, the second one's from Mike Martucci.
Okay.
I don't recall what it is, so we're going to have a little mystery beer challenge for our, after we get wasted on the Belgian. Let's pop some tops on these. This vertical comes to us from a customer, and we promised we'd bring it on the show, and he got pretty excited about that. So this is 2008. That's like 7 years old. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Aged. I don't know if it was stored appropriately, so this will be an adventure.
It tells me it was. Had it cellared the whole time, 55 degrees.
Smart. Ooh, it's purty. What kind of? This is the Belgian.
Yep.
That's right. We did a Belgian show last week. We were going to drink this beer last week, but unfortunately you couldn't make it. So we saved it for you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Oh, that looks good. Nice golden libations pouring out there.
It's kind of a rusty color.
Yeah. I don't believe I've had this one. Is it like a Belgian Tripeld? What do we know?
Are you going to drink out of the Seahawks glass?
Oh, yeah. You know what?
Get
Why
past.
not? Let's get it documented. I'm drinking out of a Seahawks glass.
Fucking Packers are going to lose now.
Here, have a little more. Oh, it's got a little bit of sediment in it.
Well, that's
Taste
normal.
it first, Ben.
Okay.
Here,
Oh, it smells good.
smells really good.
Definitely alcohol presence. Little apricot kind of nose.
Yeah, it's got like a little spicy thing in there still.
Josh, last week we drank the Delirium Tremens. Voted, they said best beer in the world on the can. And it was pretty fucking tasty.
Voted best beer. Best beer was.
This one this is not the Delirium. There's like a coffee kind of like roasty back on there.
You get that?
I'm not sure if it's deliberate or not.
No, it's hard to say anymore. I mean, it's been sitting around for 17 years.
Right. It's got a little bit of.
17 years, yeah.
It's got a little bit of something there.
Yeah.
But it has carbonation in it. It's definitely not soured. The yeast is the Belgian yeast is still present.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just kind of like
Not much phenolic or clovey, but it's kind of more sweetness. The hop flavor is definitely gone.
Right.
So that's kind of what we're seeing when we drink such an old beer. We get all the other flavors without
Right.
lupulin.
There's no like
oils.
beta acid component and probably in those hops that would take us into back into bitterland, like a barley wine or something. I noticed the bottle did not look to be a full fill, so I don't know if how that works. If it was sealed and still carbonated, it's not heavily carbonated.
Not heavily carbonated, and I can see a little bit of some corrosion on the cap.
Yeah.
on the rim.
So it might have
So
a
it
little
could have got a little bit in there,
oxidation in there. It's not cardboardy.
No, I don't taste the cardboard. I mean, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. There's no like shitty sherry notes to it.
For a 17-year-old beer, you would think this would taste a little bit different, and
Hey.
it's really good.
It's still an experience in Beerland.
It is.
I'm not wearing electronics and I'm getting some sort of probably yours.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Those are just electrons.
Spare electrons.
Yeah, this is good. I would drink a 09.
Right. Well,
And then definitely a 10 and kind of get the progression of age.
our benefactor mentioned he had a 9 and a 10 as well he was going to bring by, but have not seen that. So maybe if he hears this show, we'll remind him.
Yeah.
Josh, do you recall his name?
I don't.
It's written down somewhere, I'm sure. Yeah. Well, interesting beer. Taking a little history lesson back 17 fucking years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, this
08.
is
So that
definitely
was
something like-
So this is 10 years after Stone opened. They opened in 1996.
Yeah.
I don't know when they made this beer. I mean, I don't know when they made their Belgian.
This would have been August 8th. It would have been released.
Oh, it's August 8th,
8th, 08. So it was like 888. They did like
Right.
the 111.
Yeah, that's what it says. 08, 08, 08,
Yeah.
08, 08, 08, 08. Yep.
Yeah, so all the way through 12.
Seems to be a feature of the Stone line. A lot of the enjoy buys and release on specific dates.
Playing with funny marketing like that way.
I guess.
Yeah. I haven't seen their name come up in the press recently. Hope they're doing good. I definitely cut my teeth on hoppy beers with Stone Brewing.
They're big.
I had the arrogant bastard because I saw the gargoyle on the label for the Stone IPA, and then next to it was a red label called Arrogant Bastard, and I said, "No, that's me, man." I took that shit home with me.
They had already had that recipe made before they started. It was a flub up when they were making
Happy
the recipe.
accidents?
Very happy accident, and
Bob Ross style.
they didn't think anybody was ready for it, so they didn't release it for 18 months after they started the brewery. And then they introduced the gargoyle to the world. They say, and it was. I mean, they said I don't know how many barrels they made, but it sold out the weekend. And then they did it again. It sold out. Did it again. They're like, oh, we got something
I guess
here.
the world was ready for some of that.
Yeah,
I
so it
haven't
looks
had
like
that beer for a while.
this epic series started in 2002.
Okay.
So that's when the series started.
2202. Yeah.
Yep.
2202.
2202.
Yeah.
So Very cool.
A few of my acquaintances have tasted the whole lineup. I missed most of them. I mean, I'd grab one when I remembered it was there, but I didn't grab it in 2002. So I had this completionist failure moment, and I certainly didn't want to pay for an extra one a year later. Andrew, how the hell are you? It's been a week, man.
Been doing good. I had a busy weekend last weekend. Went and looked at some brewing equipment. And
the electric setup.
Yep, electric setup. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Two barrel setup. A lot of infrastructure I would need, and so I'm kind of not pulling the trigger yet.
Yeah.
With something that big, I mean, if I want to homebrew, that's one thing, but then that's kind of graduated into another level.
Yeah.
And that's cool. And I'm thinking, that's a lot of grain I gotta huff out of there, and
mucking that thing out is a chore.
Yeah.
Well,
so this has got to be a labor of something that's bigger than a homebrew thing for that size. So I think I'm gonna wait on that a minute. It was kind of a good experience to go look at that and mull it through my head and kind of crunch my numbers. But I mean, I need to build out my infrastructure for my floor drains, my electricity, and my venting. So that's three big things, plus the system, plus all the accessories, everything.
Yeah, yep. It's never cheap, never easy.
Nope.
But you did get to brew.
I got to brew
last Saturday.
Yep, I did.
That was fucking grand.
First time in 4 years, I think.
Yeah, 4+ I think we talked about. The beer definitely. I peeked at it on Tuesday. It was definitely slowing down. I think your 4 second bubble.
Yep. It was about accurate.
Was probably accurate.
Okay.
Josh, did you check it today at all?
I did, yeah. It's really slowed down. Great aroma coming out of the...
Yeah, the brew house smells
nice.
great. Yeah.
Right
we got 10 gallons of the ox in there, and then we did the Legend. 5-gallon batch of the Legend, the new German Pilsner that we designed right here on the show several weeks back. It is in beta release right now, along with the Aggravator Doppelbock and the More Than a Breakfast Drink Oatmeal Stout, the Red-Headed Amber. There was another one. What the hell else did we do? The Cold IPA, the Frozone Cold IPA.
And my personal favorite, it's pronounced Padilla.
Oh yeah, what was that? What beer was that? Was the Mexi Lager?
Yeah.
That's a good title. So all those we have in beta release. I think we still have to convert to extract on most of those. Yeah. But what my plan is with this beta release, is if brewers want to check those out and be a part of the beta program, we'll throw a party at the end of it, and you can bring those samples in, and we'll drink them all
for the release of the recipe.
Yeah, it's sort of like crowdsourcing the R&D side of things,
Sounds good.
Double checking it, and then we'll just get schnockered after hours at this.
Okay, I call it Doppelbock.
Do it. The Aggravator.
Yeah.
I think we went Aggravator because I was right in the whole middle of the name change, the forced name change debacle. So I was feeling very surly that day.
Right.
Or that month.
We're very aggravated. Hence the Aggravator.
Yeah.
Cool. So how are you? I hear you're doing a lot of work.
I'm doing too much work. Yeah. I'm doing good. We've got we are moving the shop in December, and we're going to stay open throughout the process, but I've got a number of little projects to finish before I can start moving crap over. So I've been doing laminate flooring and getting rid of junk to make room for other stuff. So
no doubt.
It's taking up a considerable amount of bandwidth, but I'm thankful to have Josh in the shop when I can't be there. Of course, he's going to go on vacation right in the middle of this, so he's going to miss most of it.
Yeah, you notice how I planned that right in the middle.
Yeah, jackass.
You come back after it's all open and set up and here, sit down. Here you go.
I'll have to figure it all out without.
Right on.
No, it'll be good. We've just got a lot of little dumb things to do. That the laminate flooring is going to take a minute. It's a 8-foot wide hallway, and it's 50 feet long, and it should go faster than any of the other laminate projects I've had this month. That's my goal.
Oh, you're laminating the second floor.
I had another room in the spa. I had to put new flooring on, and it was an odd-shaped room, and it had been a hot minute since I'd done laminate, so I had to get back into the rhythm of it and figure out how to not fuck up too many boards.
Yep.
Today I finished that room. I managed to burn a half a box of planks on the last fucking row as I cut them and recut them, and goddamn it, I fucked it up again.
Measure twice.
That's what trim. That's what trim is for. It'll cover up all of my mistakes.
You're fine, right?
Mistakes.
That's right. No big deal.
Yeah, the wife is very happy to have that project.
Well, very good.
Yeah,
very good.
So it's been good. I'm sitting a little crooked because my back is fucking hurting.
Well, I bet after all that work, lugging in, you're on the ground.
My knees are fine. My back is pissy.
Yeah. You got knee pads?
I do have knee pads.
That's the best.
Yeah, and they're decent. They are getting a little worn out. I'm gonna have to find that brand again. And I've used so many different brands of knee pads, and most of them suck. These ones were not. I don't know.
Pretty good.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
You know what I get? Yeah. Umpire catcher's knee pads. And then they stay on your shin.
I saw there was an outfit did like a custom set of knee pads, and they went knee to ankle like catcher's setup, but they were engineered at the foot, and so it kept your foot at 90 degrees to your leg, except for like your toes would curl underneath it, but it allowed you to rock. Like there was an engineered kind of like rocking panel on the knee, so you could easily stand up. Like it was rather effortlessly, you just get your body moving in the right direction, and boop, you're standing up.
Spring loaded.
That was kind of cool, but they're like $300. If I was in flooring, like my buddy was, then that'd be fantastic.
It's worth it. Every day.
That would be worth that to be able to do that kind of work. But I'm not.
You're not.
I just play one on TV.
Christmas is coming.
Christmas is coming, yeah. I don't want to do more floors. This is like, I did the math. I think this is like the 10th or 11th laminate job I've had to do in my little world. And I think that's enough. I think that's enough.
I think you're an expert.
So maybe you do flooring.
Yeah, I'm an amateur floor nerd. It does make you shorter. You've never met a tall floor guy, and you never will. They're all bent over.
Yep. It's small. Usually fat.
Well, I think that's going to wrap up Beer 30. We do have another beer to drink.
We do.
We're yakking about botanicals.
Well, we're going to get that out during the break, during beer news.
We'll do that.
All right,
we'll be right back.
Beer News with Andrew, where I come and give you international stories, national stories, state, maybe even your local backyard. All right, here we go again, Hopheads. Well, this is where we celebrate the stories, flavors, and the creativity behind homebrewing. Today's beer news is bubbling with excitement, from big events on the horizon to fresh trends shaping what's in our glasses. So let's get started. So first up, we are marking our calendars this year. Coming up, we've got the Homebrew Con 2026 heading to Asheville, North Carolina. It's coming on June 19th and June 20th. This annual gathering is the heartbeat of the homebrewing community, featuring Club Night, the Homebrewing Expo, seminars that spark innovation, and just before the main event on June 18th, the National Homebrew Competition's final round will crown the best of the best. If you've ever wanted to share your recipes with thousands of fellow brewers, this is your stage to do so. Meanwhile, the latest issue of Zymergy magazine, the November-December 25, is out now. It's packed with medal-winning recipes from the 2025 National Homebrew Competition, plus stories of homebrewers and brewers who kept their craft alive in the face of adversity. Think of this as both inspiration and a toolkit. You can brew right along with the champions and learn from their resilience. So next up, let's talk about some trends and styles. Now, data from Beer Analytics shows what's hot in homebrewing right now is hops, yeast, and the styles. So bring us some hops, citrus-forward varieties like Citra Mosaic. We talk about this all the time on the show. These ones continue to dominate, but newer experimental hops are sneaking into these recipes. So keep your eye out for the good stuff coming. As far as our yeast, we had a big show on Kvike strains. They are riding high. Prize for their speed and their fruity esters. Get with this one. Give it a shot. Brew with some good Kvike. So a few of the hot styles going on right now, like we talked about in a past episode, is a cold IPA, as well as the Italian Pilsners making traction coming back. We also have those classic stouts and porters, which are making the winter comeback. These trends aren't just numbers, they're signals of where home brewers are pushing flavor boundaries. So let's look at the industry in context here. Zooming out, the craft beer industry itself is evolving. The Brewers Association has announced in 2026 Craft Brewers Conference in Philadelphia, and mergers like AB and InBev's stake in Beatbox reminds us that the line between home brewing and a big beer is always shifting. For home brewers, this means keeping an eye on ingredient availability and how to tackle the trickle-down effects from the commercial side. So let's wrap this up. So whether you're preparing for Asheville, flipping through Zymergy, or experimenting with the latest hop varietals, the message is clear. Home brewing is thriving, inventive, and deeply connected to community. Keep your mash tuns warm, your fermenters bubbling, and your creativity flowing. That's the latest beer news with Andrew. Cheers to what's next.
Well, let's open her up.
Pop a top. All right, we have popped the top on a beer from Mike Martucci. It is blonde. It's a little hazy.
Yeah.
Let's give it the smell test.
Ooh.
This might be as
That's some hops.
Might be as hazy.
I think that might be a hazy IPA.
Yeah. Well, that'll wash down some Belgian pretty well.
All the hops that were supposed to be in the last one.
Yep, that's where they went.
Yep.
That's where they went.
Done.
Mike went and stole them.
That's pretty damn tasty.
Carbonated.
Good
Very well.
Yeah, good carbonation, good mouthfeel. Like it's kind of soft on the palate. Really like a nice, clean, like good fruitiness from the hops.
I like it. I think it's overcarbonated.
I like.
Only because when I take it into my mouth, that effervescence just like punches it.
Prickles the hell out of your tongue.
And then I can't get that good flavor because it has a really good malt flavor to it, and then a good hop like base. Like,
I like it. I like it a lot.
Kind of juicy.
Here's where I'm going to stand with all five of us that love a brewed IPA. That's why we like it.
Yeah, this one is really crispy, dry finishing. Like it gets out of the way.
I would drink a lot of this.
Yeah. So I give Josh a lot of shit over brewed IPAs because I haven't had one that was any fucking good. I haven't had any that I wanted to drink another one of. They've all been little one-dimensional, one-trick pony kind of. Like,
right.
Yes,
right.
it's fucking dry and hoppy.
Dry and bitter.
Yeah.
Dry and bitter.
Those are two tricks right there.
Yeah, but they're kind of in combination. Like I'm a fan of malt. How about that?
You do love malt.
I do. I think it's a fantastic hop delivery system.
And there's no malt in your brew.
Right? It's all fucking on. I mean, it was an interesting experience, like getting some of like the Brut Zyme or some of the earlier versions. Like you have a beer that finishes natively at like 10-13, add the enzyme, and the shit drops out the next day, 100. Yeah, that did it.
Dang.
Yeah.
Dry.
Yeah. Nothing fucking left. Yeah.
Dry and thin. Yum. This is good. Very good. I'm going to have
Mike
another
Martucci,
taste.
thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike.
Tasty beer. I'm going to enjoy it right now. We got an interesting topic for you guys tonight.
Let's get into the botanicals.
Yeah, botanicals and beer. I thought it appropriate. One of the things with this moving of Northwest Brewer Supply is we will be sharing this. We will co-opt the space with my wife's herb store. So she is a master herbologist. Kind of plays with tinctures and salves and oxymeals and all sorts of concoctions with. either wild foraged botanical herbs or purchased from warehouses, but a lot of fun stuff. She's like a big fan of nettle tea. She got me into that kava beer. We were doing some other stuff, and that's going to remain. And I think there's a lot of room in homebrew for some cool experimentation with some of these botanicals. So we're gonna talk about that.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, I think why not? Because I think a lot of drinkers want something other than the next IPA right now. I think some of the retraction in the beer economy is we've all gotten a little fatigued about chasing the next IPA, or trying to produce one. If that's your job, it's a lot to have to come up with a new hot shit recipe every 12 minutes.
Yeah, you can't do it.
It's tiring.
You can't do it,
right? Like every new hop that comes out, like until the next one comes out, Right. That can be a lot.
Something similar to this botanical thing that's happened in beer in the last 10 years is the wild yeasts and the propagation of the terroir yeasts from different regions.
Sure. Yeah, we're definitely playing into interesting territories if we are allowed to grow in those spaces and play in those spaces long enough. They definitely have some traction.
Yeah, give you some good results.
That isn't just a fucking IPA. I know a lot of homebrewers, definitely want to, put their stamp on a beer. They want to create a space for their beer that's uniquely their own. And I think botanicals can do a ton on that front. And it's not just coriander and orange peel. I mean, hell, the amount of things that you can put in a beer. There's an excellent book we used to carry in the shop. Unfortunately, none of my vendors are currently carrying. It was like Sacred and Herbal Beers, and Sacred and Herbal Healing Beers.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, beer is medicine. Kind of like, well, yeah, sign me up. So I got to get that. I got to try to find that one again. But it had a lot of interesting things to say.
Isn't there a mugwort or
mugwort? Yeah,
mugwort, bog myrtle, yarrow.
Yeah,
these are kind of classics.
Aren't these things that we used to make gruit from?
Gruit, absolutely.
Okay, we're coming back a little bit full circle here.
Everything we did before somebody put hops in beer.
Reinheitsgebot.
Reinheitsgebot, who cares? How many shows? Like
we've probably only missed a couple.
There's probably only 6 shows we haven't mentioned fucking Reinheitsgebot in.
I know, that's my bad.
Yeah,
you missed a few. It's my job to wind it in there somehow.
So yeah, I figured since we're going to the new space and we've got a ton of options, we should probably talk about.
Yep. Now Anna, your wife Anna, how good is she with identifying different yeasts and going through that to match them up with these herbs?
I don't know that I've ever tested her abilities on yeast. She doesn't drink a lot of my beers for the simple fact that glutens give her tummy troubles.
Yeah.
And she will if the time is right or if we're home, she'll experiment with things. But if we're out and about,
taste,
she doesn't want to be miserable for half an evening out. So we don't typically do that.
But with her background and her pairings and her knowledge about
she's
herbs,
definitely into she loves that herbology stuff.
So she can say, okay, we can use this and this, and it's kind of like that alchemy.
Absolutely,
you're gonna get this flavor from that. Let's match it with these hops and that.
Well,
and
our brand was the Apothecary Wellness, and the apothecary, that was the OG doctor, and it was your doctor and your pharmacist all in one, and they would write you a prescription of various herbal concoctions. I mean, I think Chinese medicine is still very, very active in that
space. Probably go back in the lab and work it up for you. And, okay, take the pinch a day.
So what can we do? What counts as a botanical?
Well, we've got a couple categories here.
Yeah. So you got all your herbs.
Yep. Basil. Rosemary.
Yeah.
I grow rosemary. I wish I grew basil, but rosemary is pretty easy here.
Rosemary is a pretty good, we had a nice rosemary bush. We left it alone and it exploded.
Oh,
the thing was 8 feet wide. and it died. I was so sad. It was my kid's house now, and it died. It just didn't last. We got another one coming, but it's going to take a couple years.
It's a baby.
Yeah.
Yep, it takes a while.
Our thyme crop. We finally have thyme growing in a space where it's happy.
Cool.
And it is exploding all over the raised beds, and so plenty of that. But yeah, think about your herbs, your spices, like the stuff in your pantry: rosemary, thyme, lemon balm, lemongrass,
mint.
Yeah.
Yep.
These are your
rarely.
Yeah. Spices, this is another category. In there, you've got your cinnamons, your cardamoms, your corianders, grains of paradise. A lot of these are seeds. They start off as the reproductive portion of a plant, and we grind them up again.
Like coriander is seeds of cilantro.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you ever had, speaking of coriander, I really love young coriander pods, like when they've just come out. They're like bright, shiny, like jewel-like green. You can strip them all off in your hand, and you get a handful of these cute little glow-in-the-dark green lemon balm. Like they have this like lemon kind of pop to them when they're very, very young. And I love to eat those. I would love to make a beer with that, but you got to have a lot of them, and you got to have it the right week that they're out.
When they're gone,
yeah,
huh?
Yeah.
Very
They dry out pretty quickly.
Okay.
Yep. So those are your sponsors. Flowers are another category for your botanicals. We've eaten.
Weed? Did you say weed?
Is a botanical. That would be a botanical. But also chamomile, elderflower, hibiscus, jasmine. There's poppies. Poppies. Pansies. There's you ever had go to a fancy restaurant? They got flowers in your salad.
Nasturtium.
Nasturtium's it has a nice peppery kick to it.
Yep. I think you might be able to use Jewels of Opar. Leaves from Jewels of Opar.
That is not one I'm familiar with, but I bet my wife is.
Yep.
That makes a big nerd on
decent salad. It's like adding lettuce.
We'll probably get her into the show, talk about some of this stuff.
That'd be cool as we come after the new year.
Yeah, I am working on. I do want to do kind of like a herbology and beer kind of like workshop in the new space when we get in there. I think that'll be fun.
I'm telling you, Anna would be good at it.
She slays.
Yep.
Next up, we got roots. So it's a root. It's in the dirt.
Roots.
Right. Yep. You're familiar. Ginger, turmeric, horseradish.
Yep.
Licorice. Dandelion. Roasted dandelion is very is pretty bitter. It's pretty freaking earthy. My wife
now is
loves
this the dandelion root that's bitter?
Yeah, it is. And you would yank them out of the dirt, you'd wash them off, and you can roast them, and that is a classic herbal medicinal. I don't remember what the fuck it does but it's pretty cool. My wife loves liquor.
I'm going to be doing this year.
Yeah.
Because I get a lot of my dandelions in there, and they grow out of my grass, so they're really nice.
Yeah.
And I let them go a little bit, and then I get them, and they got a nice fatty root on them.
Yeah. So
and I pull the whole thing up
and you roast them up.
I'm going to do that this year.
Yeah. Burdock is another one. Burdock root is stupidly bitter. It doesn't show up when we talk. When you do research for like, hey, what the fuck did they put in gruit to make it bitter? We come up with yarrow, bog myrtle, those kind of things. I can't believe no one put fucking burdock root in there, because that shit. My wife has made tinctures of burdock and made me,
I've never
if I got a head cold, she's like, oh, take this tincture.
I've never even heard of it. That's why.
Yeah, it's friggin' bitter as shit. Like, it's rough. So,
now what are the equivalents here? We don't even know in terms of how much we're going to use compared to hops.
Well, we're going to get into that because we have to watch out for some things. Good. Yeah. So botanicals also include citrus peel. So your citrus, the peels and zest. Yeah. Some of your leaves, like their Rangpur lime leaf, you can use as a natural botanical. So the citrus family has got some, more than just bitter orange and orange peel and lemon peel and some of that stuff. There's some of the leaves we can use. So that's kind of fun.
I wonder if you can even test some leaves yourself, right? I mean, why not?
Well, there's some things to watch out for.
Okay. We're going to get into that one.
Yeah, we sure are. So tree, there's various tree products. Spruce tips is classic. Cedar, Palo Santo. Palo Santo is one we got to watch out for. It's got some
some
oils in there. Yeah. And then other foraged items. So basically, botanicals. Foraged items would be like nettles. My wife is a big fan of nettles. When she gets nettle seeds, she likes to propagate them at her sister's house in the back 40 and her parents' backyard. And there's so she can go plant them later. We have a very small yard, so she plants nettles everywhere she
else.
can,
right?
And so that she can go back. Because nettle has in terms of a herb you can use for anything. Nettles, you can make pesto out of nettle leaves. It's actually really fucking tasty.
Really?
It takes about 1.5 million of them. Nettles are fun. Did you know if you grab a nettle leaf from the underside and pinch it and squish it, the oils that are released in nettles deactivate the burn from nettles. So if you're walking around, in the forest,
very
you
good.
Get a stinging nettle itch going on, grab some of those leaves from the underside
and
pinch the shit out of them and crush them up and just rub that on it. Takes it away.
Do you rub the leaf or just the oil on your?
Yeah, so the
just
crushed
oil on your
leaf.
feet.
Yeah, that crushed up leaf. Just rub that on your skin.
So are the nettles on the nettle stingers on the leaves, or they're on the stalk, right?
They're on the top side and the edges. Okay. On the underside of the leaf, it's safe. That's the safe zone.
And
so
as long as we
pick from under the, and then start crushing immediately, and it'll start. It'll get a little you get a little tingly on your finger when you're doing it, but it goes away quickly.
Yeah.
But other than you can forage nettles, pine needles. There's various berries. So botanicals are basically nature's,
offerings.
Pharmacology.
Yeah.
Right. We have aspirin because of the bark of the fucking tree that just left my brain. It was right there.
Aspirin tree.
It's not the aspirin tree.
We have a new visitor.
The yew tree, I believe it is.
And let me tell you, Josh, so everybody knows, the cat just jumped on Josh's lap. And that cat likes nobody ever. I mean, it takes 2 days to get to know it, and she might come up and smell you. So, wow.
Just right up in your
girl. Right up on you. Meow.
You smell good.
That's Foxy.
Foxy, hello.
Yep, she's a good kitty.
She's a standoffish one.
Yeah. She's just cool.
So we are going to talk about some of the safety items.
Okay.
These are not everything out there in nature is safe to consume. So the herb shop, we've got training, we've got understanding, so we can point you in the right direction.
Right. Like mushrooms, you probably don't want to put
not
mushrooms.
Every species of mushroom is great. Some of them can make you quite ill.
Yes. Horribly ill.
Yeah. If you want to do mushroom foraging, find somebody who knows mushrooms who can teach you how to do that and how to identify that in the wild. Because your books are cool, but nature's
an asshole.
Nature doesn't follow the fucking textbook.
Nature makes a bad mushroom for that looks exactly like the good mushroom.
Pretty much.
But just a tiny difference.
It's almost like a 2-to-1 ratio too. There's twice as many shitty ones
and they grow together.
Yeah.
Hi, kitty.
So we'll get you there. See, when would we add a botanical in a beer? It's probably okay, now we know what it is, but where the fuck would we use it? So we can use some of these in the mash, particularly some of these roots that have perhaps they have large starch payloads. We could use some of those in the mash. Some of those spices that can handle the heat and processing. We could certainly use those there. The boil is going to be an obvious one of these. I mean, if you think about how you cook with herbs and spices, it's in the pan, it's in the stock pot, it's on the stovetop. So we can definitely do that. So some of those bittering compounds that we talked about, yarrow, mugwort, bog myrtle, burdock, right in the boil. Coriander and citrus.
Right in the boil. Is there a certain time? Do we know certain times for certain herbs?
Depending on the herb, there are classic preparations for some of those. Some of those are boiled in water to make a tincture. Some of them are boiled in oil. Some of them are soaked in honey. Some of them are extracted in vinegar.
Right. Can we narrow it down to categorically, like anyone that we're after the oils, we got to go late edition? Any ones we're going with the earthy boiling tea?
From what I remember listening to my wife, gush about herbs, there were certain compounds from plant X that were active if we do a honey or sugary kind of extract versus a vinegar-based extract. Gets another compound to do another set of work for us in terms of, healing.
Got it.
And,
so we might have to do a little bit of work to use that herb prior.
That's why I'm excited to have the herb shop in the same space. Well, I've got it written down somewhere. It's just not in my notes today.
Right.
Today's just sort of like a overview, a primer, kind of let's see what we can do.
I think it sounds cool.
I'm excited for it.
I think
the kava beer was kind of cool. I didn't get I didn't hallucinate, but it was good. It tasted like a pale ale. It was pre-hazy craze days, but it looked like a hazy beer.
I've had kava. I can't remember where I had it, whether it was in Brazil or in Mexico.
Well, for those of you who don't know, kava is a traditional Hawaiian
I was just going to say that in Hawaii.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Traditional herbal kind of ceremonial.
It's like a
it's a bark
soup.
Beat the piss out of into.
It's not a soup, but it
would have. Traditionally, it would have been like a murky kind of tea.
Tea.
Yeah, and it would be strained to the best of its abilities.
And it's just shared.
Kind of
it's a shared bowl.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and it would
I
have.
remember where I had that.
Sort of ceremonial purposes.
I might have went to one of the luau's or something, and that was part of that little.
That'd be cool.
You could do.
I didn't go to that luau.
You should have.
I've been in some other ones where they had endless Mai Tai bars, so that was pretty good. Josh, have you ever played with any of these botanicals and other outside of coriander and orange peel?
Just a little bit of spruce here and there. I love me a winter IPA. So.
Speaking of winter IPA, the Royal Tannenbaum has released the Christmas tree, the beer you put your tree into.
It's released?
Yeah, it's out there. Josh, why don't you share with Andrew what you found the other day?
Well, they're in cans this year.
Oh, yeah?
It's the first time I've seen it. It's always been bottled, but...
Yeah, always been bottled that I remember. The cannon. Just a 12 ounce?
16?
It looked like 16 to me, at least in the picture.
Where was it at?
Just up at the breweries in Colchon.
Okay. Didn't know if you can get it at Hagen yet.
I haven't seen it, but...
I can't remember where you do get Colchon beers. If they distribute. Yeah, but it's close enough. I'll be up there. I'll be up there soon enough. Yeah. For sure.
I actually have a bottle. We'll have to do this coming up here. I've got a bottle from last year still, so we can
compare. That's my favorite. Seasonal beer right
That's
there.
a good piece of science right there.
Hell yeah.
That is a fucking good beer. I'm embarrassed to admit that last year was my first experience with the Tannenbaum. That was fucking tasty beer. If you're out there in listener land, go now. Take the show with you. You can download it onto your phone and listen on the way to the store. Get yourself some Royal Tannenbaum. That's pretty fucking
Royal Tannenbaum.
We were talking about
beer.
We were talking about where we're going
to put certain herbs in or certain botanicals in.
Yeah. It would be very specific to the botanical in question, but we can use them pretty much in all stages of brewing, from the whirlpool to fermenter. And one of the interesting preparations of a lot of these botanicals is a tincture, an alcohol tincture, generally 151. There's bottles of 151 in my pantry, not because I have a problem, but because my wife likes to
make tinctures.
A lot of these tinctures, and they're very, so the alcohol is a fantastic solvent and extracts a lot of stuff. Not all of them taste very good, but the tincture allows you for easy dosing of the stuff that you need in a liquid format that's going to dissolve really, really quickly into your beer, and makes easy experimentation possibilities. You could add a splash of tincture to a prepared beer and see what kind of
tastes like. That's a little eyedropper.
Because an eyedropper, the number of mils in an eyedropper, I don't know. Most of them are, the little, think about the little eyedropper on your medicine ball. That's probably only 5 mils at a time.
Yeah.
So depending on the tincture, might be 5 mils might be too damn much.
Yeah. Way much.
Burdock, the roasted dandelion tincture my wife makes me take when I get ill. 5 mils is fucking enough.
Did it help you?
I was not methodical. I had the man flu, so I was just a big baby the whole time. Whether or not it expedited the recovery, but
we're gonna hope
we've been doing some of these tincture things for fucking centuries. Chinese medicine is still doing a lot of this kind of work. I can't say that, modern pharmacology wasn't at the very least inspired by the work of centuries of experimentation with the
natural medicines. Yeah, that's the difference between natural medicines and botanicals.
Right.
Yeah.
But botanicals as natural medicine is certainly not a big fucking stretch. So you want to make a botanical beer, where should you start?
The base.
A decent base. Pick a base that can allow some of these to shine, or will mask other ones. But like your wheat beers, your saisons, cream ales, pale ales, all those kind of
your
all
stout.
those beers. Stout probably would handle some of the more assertive versions. You can hide a lot of, stout, like the roast character of a stout hides a multitude of sins in the brew house, right? One of the jokes in IPA land is you don't have to be a good brewer if you're putting a fucking pound of hops in there. But I think with a strong roast presence, you can balance a lot of those flavors as well. I think there's plenty of room. Some of them were stronger than others. At least the preparations my wife was making at the time. But some of that burdock or dandelion root would probably faintly disappear into the landscape.
So you need to envision the final outcome of the beer you want to design,
right?
And then you go from there. If you envision that, that's going to give you your base first. Okay, so if it's going to be a lighter beer with a light tincture of floral or basil or something, you want to start with a light beer. If you want to add basil to the saison, get a little spice behind it.
Sure.
Start with the saison. That's actually starting with a light beer too. You're just adding the saison yeast.
What is going to complement let the botanical be the star of the show. If that's your goal, you're thinking in terms of a base that doesn't get in the way, right? So wheat, saisons, pales, those beers.
They're good backbone.
They're
good backbone.
Other flavors shine.
Yeah.
God, saison, a botanical saison.
Wonderful.
I start thinking of you ever had the 42 botanical gin or something like that? Oh my God, that is! I would drink the shit out of that in a saison.
Would you?
Oh yeah, I would literally put a shot of that in a pint glass and fill it up with saison, and I would happily drink that.
Yum.
I'm a big gin fan. Speaking of gin, one of the things we can do with the herb store is we can do custom blends of gin botanicals. So we have half of the
beer.
we have right now in stock we have a lot of half of the really popular ones. So we've got of course juniper berries, we've got orris, we've got angelica, we've got citrus peel coming out our ears. All those are kind of like the heavy hitters.
Right.
In
So you're going to need to make a pre-mixed bag.
Yeah. In 1 and 5 gallon batches.
Right. Exactly.
Yep. We'll also
because nobody want to go in there and pick it up. I mean, some people will, but give them the option. But yeah, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to
actually sell quite.
My eyes are going to glaze over.
5 ounces of this, 4 ounces of this.
Right.
And
when I see a pre-pack, here's the pre-pack.
It's a kit. Yeah.
Herbal kit. Bam. I'm good.
Yeah. We're going to do some
27.
We're going to do some
27 gin.
Some root beer. The actual roots, sarsaparilla and birch and some of those classics. So rather than just using somebody else's prepared syrup and sugar water, you can boil the roots and create those flavor compounds and then add sugar and carbonate it for your very own root beer, right? Root beer.
Your own root beer.
Yeah, root from the fucking ingredients used. So those are kind of exciting. It is kind of, you start talking about these botanicals and you start, and as a brewer, God, you are really stepping into the alchemy landscape, the mad science, Mad Hatter kind of sphere of faffing around with some cool stuff to make pretty tasty beer.
I did a saison with lavender.
Ooh.
And bourbon-soaked oak chips.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Lavender's really strong.
It is a powerful ally.
It is powerful, and it will kick you in the head.
Yeah, you got to be watched. There's culinary lavender species, and then there's non-culinary lavender species. The non-culinary versions can taste a little soapy.
Yeah, mine wasn't soapy, but it was very lavender.
Culinary versions that give you that kind of like a little goes a long way.
A little went a very long way.
My wife brought home like a pint of lavender ice cream. You ever had this stuff?
No.
It wasn't. It is not as bad as it should be. Like I keep thinking of lavender and I think soap and old lady smell.
Right.
But that stuff was actually
perfume.
Good. Yeah. It
had a lavender aroma to it, and you're like eating vanilla ice cream with a lavender aroma.
Sure. Yeah, it was pretty tasty.
If you like aromas, like lavender, yeah.
I've always dreamed of like a blueberry basil, a lemon blueberry basil mead. I've had it as a cake. It's pretty fucking good. So I would like that I think a mead would be a fantastic option for that. So that's probably the next mead I'll make when honey prices come down.
Honey prices are coming down.
Nothing's coming. No prices.
We always
are
say
coming
that.
down.
We always say that when prices are going. Well, I guess the price of eggs came down, but they were artificially high because of they had a bird.
Yeah, they
killed the chickens. So
chickens.
Yeah.
I would say if you're building a botanical beer, start with one primary botanical and maybe one supporting. You don't want to go throw a whole, if you're just getting started, don't go throwing the whole kitchen sink in there.
Unless you have the 27 botanical gin mix from Ben.
Yeah, well, that's fine, with appropriate warnings.
And proper usage.
But I think starting small in your botanical journey, pick something cool and something that supports that flavor or contrasts it nicely, and in the right base, you've got a fighting chance of making a pretty goddamn quality beer.
Yep.
Yeah.
At risk of jumping ahead, do you have suggestions for some complementary or contrasting?
So I mentioned a minute ago. I mentioned basil and lemongrass as tasty combinations.
Yeah.
I have done like lemongrass in beer as well. It's like it's a really light lemon flavor. So I combined it with like lemon drop hops. Hallertauer Blanc has a lemongrass profile. So just throwing some lemongrass and lemon balm would probably I would be turning up the volume on the lemon profile. Or maybe
a lemon drop hop to that.
With like citrus.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe I put citrus peel. And
to complement it,
and rosemary would be an easy botanical kind of combination. I like to think about a lot of flavors in like culinary terms. Before I was a brewer, I was a cook, and so we would play with flavor combinations quite a bit. So pepper goes really well with lemon as well. So I'm not afraid to get into that. I mean, your saison,
there's your saison,
the lemon forward esters and spicy phenolics always taste good. So those kind of classic combinations. Pick up Le Russe Gastronomique and read it in French and pick up a lot of cool supporting character kind of things like that. But I would say start small.
Dogfish Head.
Dogfish do a cool one.
Jim Caliglione.
Jim Caliglione. Yeah.
Jim Caliglione. He wrote a book. He put a book out with the botanicals.
Oh, cool.
And one of those. Yes, I don't know what the actual name of it is, but it's something like specialty beers with spices or something. You just look up his books, you'll find it. And it had actual usage amounts in there and when to use it.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
So, excellent. So I'm going to put that on my Christmas list.
Maybe put it in the show notes when you find out.
I sure will.
Cool.
I will do that. Writing the note now. So we mentioned adding tinctures to a finished beer. That is a pretty good way to get some actionable data, or maybe dividing your 5-gallon batch into 1-gallon batches and playing with kind of the dosing and what plays well. If it hasn't been brewed, somebody's definitely, whatever you can think of today has definitely been brewed with at some point somewhere. It may be 500 years since someone put it in the beer. but that shouldn't stop you. We just have to start the research over, as it were. Yeah. As we get going into the new space, I'm excited to kind of, go through my product catalog in the herb store and start writing out like what I think would be like what would go good, what would work, and start creating some of those. That's kind of fun. Right. It sounds like a lot of fun to do.
I always think that if you make a very light ale and then start with a tea, like a breakfast tea, black tea, and add a little bit of lemon or something on top of that, pepper. Sure. I think that'd be good. I've never added tea to my beer, but I've always thought about that. I've
had some like chamomile kind of tea,
but chamomile is chamomile. It's a tea, but it's chamomile. It's not tea.
I've had some I had a matcha beer once, and I'm not a big matcha fan. I think it kind of tastes kind of grassy earth.
I've had that, but I can't remember.
Yeah, not my favorite thing. Some people really love it. Good for you.
But just a good herbal tea.
Or good tea. Like tannin extraction on some beers could I think there's room for that.
I think there is.
Yeah.
Just talking about that just kicked in a memory of mine. Speaking culinary school as well. My best friend for his capstone project, he had to have a drink and everything. He did a rosemary Arnold Palmer, and so I've been for the last 7 years now trying to figure out how could we make an IPA like that. He's a big IPA fan too.
We need to fix that problem.
So the Arnold Palmer rosemary IPA is something we might need to work with.
Lemonade tea rosemary.
Yeah,
those work.
Yum.
Those work. Lemonade.
You're making me thirsty, Josh. God damn.
I was just gonna pound a bunch of lemon drop hops in there and see what happens.
Yeah, that's an appropriately named hop. It does taste like the goddamn candy.
That's what I tell everybody who comes in. That is the one hop that does exactly what it says it's gonna do. And
lemon
Citra,
drop,
I guess. But yeah, lemon drop for sure.
Kind of your questions if I had ideas. I did come across a couple in my research today, obvious ones like lemongrass in a Kolsch or pale ale would be fantastic. Chamomile in a blonde ale. I have had some hibiscus beers, the kind of that red, it was like a raspberry wheat with hibiscus, and raspberry and hibiscus play nicely in any pool that you can throw at.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, you go to any local Mexican little restaurant right now, you get the agua frescas.
Yeah.
And you get the red one, which is the. I just lost it. It's
hibiscus?
The hibiscus, but they call it something else. Darn it.
Yeah, and that word is now escaping my brain.
I'm going to put a pause in, and then I'm going to come back and say that word, and then we'll keep going. Yeah, right here. So I'm saying the word Jamaica. Agua de Jamaica. The Mexican phrase for hibiscus. Super good. I encourage anybody out there to get the agua fresca at any of your local Mexican restaurants. It's the best. Get the red one. Back to the show. Okay.
You'll find it.
I'll find the word.
Spruce tips are classics in the right season. We had a whole mess of brewers do spruce tip beers this year and brought some into the shop, and they were really good. I really enjoyed that. One guy had some Sitka spruce out of Alaska he brought down. It's in my freezer. We need to brew with that, Josh.
We do.
Yeah. There's some cool ones.
I had a guy bring me huckleberries from Montana, fresh. Ooh. Super good.
Ginger would be an easy addition to any saison.
Yeah.
But maybe even a porter. You get some complexity in there. It might be interesting. I'll have to try that one.
Really well with rye as well.
Rye?
Ginger rye?
Yeah.
Right. The rye's got kind of a peppery spice kind of profile that's kind of nice.
If you made just like this very light ale with the ginger and the rye addition, that might be really good, because then you really get those two popping, working together.
Well, I'm thinking for the porter, like we've seen kind of like those pumpkin spice brown ales and porters, especially in the fall, so your cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, allspice kind of flavors.
Yeah.
All those play really, really well classically
with the porter.
Yeah. I think it would be an easy translation into a porter landscape.
Yeah, well, I used to make my pumpkin beer with stout. No way, no more. just a light beer, just a light.
Did
light
you use
beer.
the actual pumpkin or just the spice? Yeah.
Yep.
Did you do it in the mash or just the boil?
Both.
Yeah,
both. I don't even know how. I do like 8 gallons of 8-gallon sack Ziplocs. Yeah, of roasted after I'd cut it up, roasted, then put it in there.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yep. And then no other spices. It was just the pumpkin beer.
I remember the first pumpkin beer I ever had was by How Sound, and I bought it because it was in a 1-liter flip-top bottle.
Yeah, we've talked about it.
Yeah.
You drank it and got
terrible.
You got pretty drunk.
It was 9%. I was I didn't care after the end of that.
After the first couple.
This isn't bad. It's not good, but it's not bad either.
I'll tell anybody who will listen, the worst beer I've ever had of the thousands of beers was pumpkin beer.
Yeah.
About 12 years ago, so, yeah.
Yeah, I remember writing like a slapstick article on pumpkin spice fucking beer. Like, fuck your pumpkin spice. It was fun. It was fun to write, let's say. Cedar is kind of one I've seen some like there's a breed of hops, and it's got an uninteresting like HBC 366 or some dumb number that's hard to memorize, but it has kind of like this cedar woodsy kind of flavor profile. So some of those like cedar plank, spruce tip kind of flavors could play well as well. I think.
Did they make cedar spirals?
I've not seen them in marketable from a market standpoint.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna go buy a cedar shake and split it into little spikes.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Do that and then call me when it's done. Call me. Let's see. Have you ever heard of some of the weirder stuff, like in your brewing travels, stories from other brewers? What are some of the weird ones you've heard of?
Weird ones,
yeah.
What did somebody put in their beer? I'm trying to remember beer stock. Many years of beer stock.
Because
there's some weird ones.
The Wayback Machine.
Yeah. We got mushrooms.
Yeah, mushrooms.
Got some mushrooms.
Chaga mushrooms. I've seen
grass. Some of grasses.
That's interesting. Like I'm usually trying to avoid
grass flavor.
The chlorophyll flavors in my beers.
Barley is a grass.
Of course, you got your pepper beers.
Yep.
All of your.
That's kind of normal.
It depends on
hot pepper, not pepper.
Right. Hot pepper.
Not salt and pepper.
I've had some habanero.
Yep.
Beers. I've had some jalapeno beers. I've had some jalapeno meads.
I remember this one beer from it was like the Hop Frog Brewery or Hop Frog something down in Arizona a long ass time ago, and they'd make a Mexican light lager, and they'd have one Serrano in there in the bottle.
Oh, very cool.
Gimmicky.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to that.
Don't let it touch your lips. How about
I like a hot pepper beer.
Well, you've heard of oysters pairing with stouts.
Yep. Oyster stout.
And oyster stout with oysters in the fucking beer. Yeah. I think we've talked about that. I think Dogfish did one of those too. They did oyster shells and a bunch of fresh shucked oysters in the oil.
It's kind of gose stout, gose.
Right, the salty salinity.
Salty.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I would drink. I mean, I've had oysters with a stout. It is a pretty good flavor combo.
Pretty good combo.
Yeah, right. They play well in the palate.
Okay.
I've not brewed one.
I wonder if the old Edison has an oyster stout because they do the oysters too.
Call them up. Yeah.
There you go.
Maybe the Longhorn.
Atwood Ales used to be up in Bellingham. May they rest in peace.
May they rest in peace. That's where the equipment I looked at. This weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, they made a great oyster stout. I can't remember if it was collaboration with Boundary Bay or not, or just happened to be at the farmer's market across the street?
Yeah, I think it was theirs. It was theirs. So
Okay,
I remember seeing that on his board.
Yum.
In the brewery.
Yeah, I just tried it on a whim, as I tend to do.
Yeah, he had that and a saison. But
Pretty good, yeah.
Dandelion, we've got of course, dandelion wine. I bet somebody's probably used a dandelion in the beer as well.
Beer, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try that. I'm doing my experiment.
A lot of damn dandelions. I mean, like
I get a lot of dandelions.
it's not so much like the picking is one half of it, but separating out the stamen of the dandelion, the petals and stamen. Yeah, that's a lot of work. That's a lot more work.
If you're gonna do the dandelion petal and all that one,
yeah.
I mean, you pick the dandelions, you cut the leaves off them, you can eat the leaves, and then you can process that root.
I've had the leaves in a salad. I've had them in a pesto. They're pretty. It's not bad.
Not bad.
It's not bad. Yeah. Now they saute okay.
How about wormwood?
Wormwood, yeah. There's a classic. What's a wormwood? That is the active ingredient in absinthe, right? For the green fairy action.
Hope he doesn't mind if I call him out. Sam, one of our newer regular customers, just came in yesterday with a. Well, he was going to make 3 or 4 more gallons of beer because he did a 2-ounce addition of wormwood into his 5-gallon and has never tasted anything more bitter in his entire life. So he's going to try to save it with more beer and less wormwood.
See, very good. We've got another botanical beer, wormwood. Let's not forget that one. There's another one, like herbs. We've talked about mugwort, ground ivy, horehound, and heather. Heather is a classic one.
I love it when Heather comes over and dips in my wort.
She comes here too. That's weird. Yeah. She gets around. Of course, juniper, berry, ginger, caraway seed, nutmeg, cinnamon. I'm thinking like anything in your spice cabinet right now.
Yep.
You could probably.
Where's my cinnamon going? Into like a Mexican stout. Yeah.
We did
horchata.
We did a
horchata stout.
We did a horchata stout a couple years ago with like we even had like flaked rice in there to get It was interesting. It was good. It was like cinnamon. Like cinnamon's another powerful ally.
Was it lighter stout?
No, we didn't go light at all. We wanted we tried to maximize on it. It was interesting
because horchata is white.
It is, right. And this maybe we should have done like the blonde stout protocol with horchata spice payload.
That's what I'm talking about.
Very good.
Oh, I had one in San Diego at a brewery down there with Jen a long time ago, and I was like, well, okay, I get the stout, I get a little bit of the horchata, but it didn't remind me like of horchata and the stout. It's like
I just want you say horchata, now I want horchata.
Right.
That's what I want now.
And I want to visually see horchata, and then I drink it, and it's a stout.
Yeah.
Or a little bit of that mixture. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It was fun. It was fun. So it is recommended. You get into something like, if you get outside of your normal pantry fare, like stuff you can get in the supermarket, you get outside of that range, you do want to be working with someone who knows what the fuck is up. There are a lot of pharmacological compounds in some of these. One of the big ones, foxglove, is a powerful this is the digitalis plant, but we use that stuff. It'll actually fuck with your heartbeat, like high blood pressure. Here's some fucking foxglove. We still use this stuff for a lot of blood pressure medication.
Right? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Synthesized versions often, rather than the pharmacological or the botanical versions. Okay. But
are these the flowers of the foxglove?
Yeah, it's a digitalis species, and we have to watch out for some of that. So we can't just go willy-nilly with one of these.
Right. Just go take my foxglove. I'm growing in my backyard.
Well,
here, these look great.
There's classic murder trials or murder mysteries of wives giving their husbands foxglove in their tea or whatever.
Right. Okay, I grow a salvia right next to my foxglove. Okay.
Right.
Salvia really big. I mean, it grows great here. I mean, it was growing still last week. It's just hardy. Is that anywhere in here?
I don't know if it's on the counter indications list. Some of the ones I pulled up today, like Monkshood or Wolfsbane, contain actinite. I'm going to fuck up the word aconite, which is on the FDA's poisonous plant database. And it does have like potent toxins that can cause heart problems, including fatal arrhythmias. So that's not really something we want to faff around with without the knowledge to go with it. It was interesting. I did find out bitter orange, which we see this one a lot. That bitter orange is kind of like, it's a weird like Yucatan citrus fruit. It's kind of like a grapefruit and an orange had a baby. It has a product. It has something similar to ephedra. Remember ephedra?
Yeah.
Ephedra is a naturally occurring compound. Got a little interesting in like weight loss supplements, but it can fuck with your heart as well. And
isn't that fen-phen?
Right, yeah. Those days, bitter orange has a compound that is similar to ephedra in it, and so we use that like willy-nilly in like a lot of wheat beer. You know, some of the
now is this going to be
wheat beers?
Is this going to be the oils we squeeze out of the peel, or no? Bitter orange is going to be something different.
I remember going to the Yucatan, and like you would have sliced bitter orange right there on your fucking salad or whatever, or on the breakfast bar, and it's friggin' delicious. But it's not one I want to eat. Probably be eating a ton of. It
gets you going. It looks like
could do it. Yeah. There are a host
of these good breakfast fruit.
So apart from the ones that are obviously like, oh, if you take this, it's going to mess with your heart or whatever, or it's an FDA recognized poison. A lot of other compounds react poorly with some of the medications you may already be on. Either turning the volume up or negating their effects, which puts you at risk equally as well. So some of your prescriptions have counterindications for some of these things. For instance, St. John's wort interacts with many types of medication. Hawthorn can increase the effects of other medications. We talk about like some of your blood pressure medications. You can't have grapefruit with some of those because it turns the volume up to 11 on those, and then you have problems. So these are some of the things that
research your botanical.
Yeah, that's the kind of homework my wife has done. She's really nerdy about. She's equally nerdy as I am about beer, about herbs. So good for you. What would I do if I want to play with botanicals? And I was looking over the list, and I know we had talked about saisons, and I have done some fun stuff with saisons, like a citrus rye saison was a pretty popular blend. Like the pepper flavors of rye support the phenolics in saison yeast. The lemon peel plays well with that yeast. But chamomile would be an interesting one. Like throw a little like dried chamomile pods. My wife grows them in just about every container she can throw at them. They self-seed everywhere. They're kind of a lot. That chamomile, kind of that soft herbal floral component with lemongrass, lemon balm, and maybe a little bit of honey to keep it's going to be saisons are naturally a dry finishing beer. But I think a little honey in there, if we can, as a late addition.
Sweeten it up. That'll dry it out as a late addition.
Yeah, honey is completely fermentable. But there are, depending on the honey, some are stronger than others. Your orange blossom honey is probably not going to have a lot of character left over in a beer. But if I got into some, say, buckwheat honey with that,
a little bit of the herbal flavor,
which I think would play well with chamomile and lemon, would be very cool. I know I've got some spruce tips that are frozen we can still use. I would definitely be playing with that. I think a lot of brewers this year were using like 2 to 4 ounces of spruce tip.
Yeah, that sounds
Seems
right.
about. I would.
These are going to go good with your Forester Forager Ale.
Yeah, if I was going to do like a
Northwest
Forager Ale with spruce tips. Rose hip would be an interesting one. I've got here in my notes. Rose hip has have you ever had like the wild rose? It's like that little. It's like a bushy kind of rose plant. It's got weird little small pink flowers. The rose hips off that have huge amounts of vitamins.
No, the rose hips. Those are those balls, right?
The
little ball right below the flower or whatever.
Yeah. After the flower's fucked off, you get this little
rose, the balls.
Yeah, and those, if you ever eat those, they pack a wallop in terms of vitamin C. They got a really interesting floral, bitter, kind of almost lemony, citrusy kind of note to them. I think that would play well with the spruce tips.
Rose and spruce.
Yeah, with a little juniper back. I'm a big gin fan, though.
Yes, we know.
Yeah, I think.
But that sounds really good. Rose hip,
spruce, rose hip, and juniper.
Juniper.
Yeah, and I would leave that in like a pale ale base. Yeah. That would be really good.
The gin beer.
Yeah, a lot of those juniper beers, they're kind of like pails with a big fat spruce tip payload.
Yeah,
the piney flavors of spruce tips. Even though it's not pine, and the pininess of juniper
fir.
They play nice together.
Fir.
Yeah. Those would be really fun beers. Of course, you can do your pumpkin spice stuff. Go for it. But I'm thinking kind of esoteric, a little out there. I've heard of some interesting like mushroom, like chaga mushrooms or turkey tail beers that have kind of like this earthy, like a really nice earthiness in an ESB kind of playground.
I wonder how
that kind of makes me thirsty too.
The mushroom and the bitterness of that.
Yeah.
Kind of a bittering mushroom.
It's kind of making me thirsty. Mostly the Saison one. I think I'm gonna steal some of grab some of the chamomile, lemon balm I've got grown out of my ears. That's the house I purchased. The gal, the previous owner, would divide her lemon balm and replant in about 18 other locations in the yard. And boy, you can't get rid of that stuff. It grows like a goddamn. It's a member of the mint family, and if uncorralled, will go insane.
Yep, I've probably like 5 different varieties of mint planted right out there.
I've made lemon balm mojitos. Yeah, because we had a lot of lemon balm.
The mojito beer, maybe.
Ooh, lime and
yeah, nice light beer. Make a light beer, right?
Yeah, like a wheat beer base would be pretty interesting. Or gosh, even just like a seltzer. God, almost just like a seltzer.
Might be good.
A mojito seltzer. I'm not like, I used to give a lot of like shit, to seltzer. Like my kids like this. My kids are not that young anymore. They're 25 and 23, but they're still kids. They drink a lot of these seltzers, and I'd give them shit because, kind of I'm an old fogey. I'm an old fogey. I'm a grognard for seltzers, not beer. Fucking goddamn. But then I'm giving them shit about drinking hard seltzers as I'm pouring tonic, as I'm pouring carbonated water over my gin. I'm like, fucking your hard seltzers, slurp, slurp, slurp. God damn it. So I can't say bad things. Seltzer's a stupidly easy one. This is almost like cheating in ferment land. Also, bonus track. If you want to make a seltzer, it's 5 pounds of dextrose, a neutral yeast, lots of yeast nutrient. Give it a week in the ferment. Clarify it with like a commercial clarifier, like chitosan and Keysol will drop all that shit out of suspension.
Yeah, that was a preview for one of our next episodes.
We might do a hard seltzer episode. Just let that go and carbonate in your keg. Add any fruit flavor you fucking can dream up, and it's got to be better than La Croix.
Or one of these botanicals. How about that?
Botanical and
what do you think
fruit
we've
flavors.
Been talking about?
Yeah.
Ooh, now we don't even have to balance sweetness really from the malt.
No.
Yes.
God, if that lemon blueberry basil would be an amazing seltzer.
There you go.
Would drink a gallon. I'm going home. I'm going to fix that looking right now.
What do we ferment? 5 gallons. How much? 10 pounds of dextrose.
5 pounds of dextrose.
5 pounds of dextrose.
5 gallons of water.
Okay.
Heavy nutrient addition.
Yeah. Heavy yeast.
And then a neutral yeast.
What are you doing?
I've done champagne yeast. I've done a 1056. There's seltzer strains which are pretty neutral. Some of your neutral cider strains I've seen. Kvike would definitely do it.
Wouldn't that be cool?
You need twice as much nutrient as you already needed lots of for a Kvike at 7% range. Kvike used to remember from that podcast for 6 and 7% beers. Give them extra nutrients. They're pretty bad at nutritional uptake because it's a function of that warm tolerant profile that they have makes them lousy at nutritional uptake. So we have to support it.
Yeah, feed them.
So if I was doing a seltzer with a Kvike, use twice as much as I was already going to make for a seltzer. Clarify it, keg it, or bottle it. You can bottle kitchen, that's fine. And any fruit or botanical concoction you can dream up, and fuck your White Claw. You've got 5 gallons in a keg.
Ready to go.
And it only took a week, so you better start another one after you tap that one because it's going to go fast. Lemon, basil, blueberry.
Yum. Sounds really good.
Hard seltzer on the way. Speaking of seltzer, cranberry seltzers would be appropriate for this time
for the holiday.
Yeah,
coming
absolutely.
Up. Cranberry spruce.
Yes, cranberry spruce would be good with a splash of gin.
Tiny botanicals.
And if you're not even a drinker, just some of these botanicals in carbonated water are going to taste.
If
really
you
good.
are a Northwest above Seattle resident, you can go to Bellwood Acres up in Linden, Washington, and go into the distillery and ask the head distiller if you can have some of his botanicals that he uses for his gin.
Yeah.
And what he does is they have it in a big bag, in his muslin bag or whatever, and then after he's done with it, he takes it out and puts it on the boil kettle and gets it all dried out. So it dries out, and then he'll usually take it home, but he said he'd give it to any home brewer.
Well, we'll never see Ben again. I've been trying to keep that a secret.
Great.
Dang.
Great.
He'll never make it up there.
We'll put in the show notes. If you're looking for extra reading material, I've got a list of excellent books on the topic I will put in the show notes. We won't go into
ancient brews, sacred
and herbal healing beers we talked about. That's one of them.
I like brew like a Yeti.
But we'll put those in the show notes.
I think here's one I've never heard of. Against All Hops by Butch Halshorn.
Yeah, I hadn't heard. That came across my.
I'd be interested in reading that one. Yeah, cool.
Well, I think that's going to be a wrap.
It's been a good show.
Again,
man.
I want to thank Josh for joining us today.
Thank you for showing up.
Thank you guys.
Fun. We'll do it again sometime.
Drinking
real
the
soon.
Epic with us.
Next week, we've got a special guest as well. We've got one of our loyal listeners, Adam Woodworth. We're going to be talking about boiling a bag or brewing a bag processes, and he's got an interesting pale ale lineup for us to taste. So I'm excited for Adam to come into the
brewing a bag
next week.
Easy peasy.
That'll be kind of fun.
Good system.
Yeah,
takes a little work. Takes a little bit of
it's an interesting
little bit of muscle.
One. It's an interesting one. I do dig it. So that'll be next week's show.
Right on. Thank you for listening, everybody. Really appreciate you guys.
Cheers, guys. We'll see you next time.
All right, on the Beer Craft.
Adios.